We are going to learn more about file management. This topic is so important and challenging to understand that it will take you some time to truly understand it. Make sure that you take notes and pause the video if you need to. You don't have to write down every word I say, but pay particular attention to the words in bold or any extra information that I give you. These are going to most likely be the terms that you need to know. We're going to be learning about how to understand files and folders. We're going to create and save a file. We're going to create and save a folder. We're going to explore files and folders on your computer, change file and folder views, open, edit, and save files, copy files, move and rename files, search for files and folders and programs, and delete and restore files. What is file management? File management refers to the strategy and tasks that we use to organize and maintain the folders and files on a desktop. You need to develop a strategy that enables you to quickly find the files that you need. Windows provides a variety of file management tools that assist you in these tasks. Why do you need to know what a folder or file is? You need to learn about folders and files so that you can learn to correctly store and then locate your data quickly when you need it. Data is important information. All digital data is stored in files. Digital information is data that is saved and displayed in ways the computer can understand. Files don't have to be saved in folders, but using folders can help you keep your files organized and make them much easier to find when you need them. It's like if you store your socks in one drawer and your t-shirts in another drawer. When you want a t-shirt, you know exactly where you want to go. If you want socks, you know exactly where to go to find those. But if your clothes are in a jumbled pile on the floor or in a drawer, then they're much harder to find. Not impossible to find, just harder. You can use Windows 7, which is our operating system, to create folders for storing and organizing files. Folders provide a location for storing your important files, and folders organize files into smaller groups of related files so that you can easily access them and use them. When you create a folder, you give each folder a unique folder name that identifies the types of files that you're going to store in that folder and the purpose of that folder. You will be learning to store your files in folders on your hard drive or on the desktop. We may use USB drives at some point, but we're also going to learn how to upload them and store them on our cloud, both in Canvas and through Outlook. You should know what a hard drive is. It's the main part of your computer where all information is stored. A cloud drive is simply an online hard drive. That means that your data is stored on a server. Just think about a really big computer at a company's physical location that you can access through an online account such as Canvas or Outlook. A folder can contain other folders called subfolders to further organize files into smaller groups. The term file hierarchy describes the logic and layout of the folder structure on a disk, like a hard drive. Windows 7 provides a documents folder on the hard drive where you create folders and subfolders for your files. When you create a folder, you need to name that folder something that you will remember. Today, you're going to create a folder on your desktop with your name. For example, I would create a folder called Shawn White. This is where we will temporarily, and you will temporarily, store your files until we can upload them to Canvas or the OneDrive. When you save a file, the computer will automatically save your file to the Documents folder or the Downloaded folder on your computer. This is not where you want all your documents saved. You will want to save your files to a specific folder or location, so you will have to choose that location before you save. You will save your documents to a folder on your desktop labeled with your name. You'll do this by using the Save As option a lot of time. Folders have a hierarchy to them. You have a folder, and then inside that folder you can have many different subfolders. In the PowerPoint example, you will see that you have the main folder named Documents, then subfolders named Correspondence, Quest Specialty Travel and Tours. You should also notice that the main Documents folder has a file stored in it as well. The file named tourguidebio.doc. The .doc is a file extension. It's not located in a subfolder. It is located in the main Documents folder. Notice that the Tours subfolder has additional subfolders that are named Tour Brochures, Tour Calendar, and Tour Proposals, which also have files stored in them. Any document that you're going to create with a program is going to be temporarily stored in RAM. Remember that if the power fails, then everything in RAM is lost. You must save your document to a storage device, either before you exit the program or periodically while you use the program. You should really save your files every 5 minutes or so that you will not lose important information. When you save a document, it is recorded to a file as a file on a drive. The program you are using will add a file extension at the end of the file name you provide. The file extension identifies the type of file, for example, a document file, a video file, or a music file. The file extension is a 3- or 4-letter sequence preceded by a period. Why should you care what the file extension is for any file? Because certain types of software will not be able to open certain types of files. File extensions allow you to immediately determine which type of application software you will need to open your file and whether you have it on your computer or not. The first time you save a document, this menu option or button displays a Save As dialog box so that you can select the drive and folder where you want to save your files so that you can enter a file name. If you open a previously saved document and make changes to that document, then save it again with just using Save. This option replaces the previous version of the document and saves the document in the same folder under the same file name. The File menu option always displays a Save As dialog box so that you can select the drive and folder where you want to save the file and so that you can enter a file name. You can use the File menu option to save a previously saved file on a different disk, such as a USB drive, in a different folder, under a different file name, or to keep the original file intact and make changes to the new file. That's why I often use the Save As command when I'm creating a document, so that I take the document that I've already created, do File Save As, and then I add the word answer key to the file name, and then I create my answer key. Notice in this slide the File menu's Save As dialog box. You know that this is a Save As dialog box because of the Save As in the top left corner. Notice you have the libraries, which is what the documents, music, pictures, and video files are over here. On your computer, you have a C drive, which is your computer's hard drive. This will not always be designated as a C, but usually is. Then you have a D drive, which is your computer's DVD drive. Then there is the removable disk drive. The removable disk drive most often indicates your USB drive. It will not always be called a removable disk. It will sometimes be called by the name or brand of USB drive you are using. These folders are stored on the E drive. How do I know this? I know this because at the top of the screen there is a hierarchy list. It says Computer, which indicates the first location, then the triangle or arrow takes it inside the computer to say the folder is located on the removable disk drive. Notice the scroll bar in the picture next to the removable disk right here. This indicates that you can scroll up to see more locations available to save files on your computer, including the desktop. A library gathers files and folders from different locations on your computer and displays them in one location. A library is not a folder that stores files, but rather a way of viewing similar types of documents that you have stored in multiple locations on your computer. In the Windows Explorer window, you can navigate through your computer contents using the file list, the address bar, and the navigation pane. The file list, which is right here, is in the center of the computer, and it's what you will see when you make selections through the file list. The address bar is what lists the hierarchy. The navigation pane on the left lists the different locations that files can be saved, such as favorites, libraries, computer, or an external storage device. Remember that the drive name is most important, such as computer, DVD, or removable, rather than the letter of the drive, because it won't always be C or E or D. Once you have created a file and saved it with a name in a folder on a storage device, you can easily open it and edit it. You do this by clicking on the folder in your taskbar, which is Windows Explorer. The ability to copy files and folders and allow you access to create backups of important folders and files in case you lose the original folders and files. If you lose your original folder and file, you can copy it from your backup. Keeping a copy of important files is very important. This is why you're going to be saving documents to both the hard drive and to Canvas. Eventually, you will learn to save to other places as well, such as the cloud drive. When you use the copy command, Windows 7 places a duplicate copy of the file on the clipboard. When you copy a file, the original file stays in its current location. You have a duplicate copy of the same file in another location. You can use the send to command to quickly copy a file, a group of files, a folder, or a group of files from one disk to another. The send to command appears in a menu when you right-click, that's click on the right button on the mouse, on top of the file that you would like to be copied, and then you choose the location that you would like to send the file to. You'll learn how to do this when we save to a different type of drive. You can move one or more files or folders. When you move a file, the file is transferred to the new location and no longer exists in its original location. You can move a file using the cut and paste commands. You can rename files to make the names more descriptive or accurate. Drag and drop is a technique in which you use your pointing device or mouse to drag a file or folder into a different folder and then drop it, or let go of the mouse button to place it in that folder. Windows Search helps you quickly find any file, folder, or program. The search text when you type is called the search criteria. Search criteria can be a file name, part of a file name, or any other characters you choose. This is very helpful when you can't remember where you saved a file. To search your entire computer, including its attached drives, you can use the search box on the Start menu. To search within a particular folder, you can use the search box in the Windows Explorer window. Notice the example, the search is for me, down here. You can perform advanced searches using different search criteria such as file extension, first, last, or first and last name of the file creator, the date of the file creation, the document title, or a person's name to find his or her email address. If you no longer need a folder or file, you can delete it from the storage device. By regularly deleting files and folders you no longer need and emptying the recycle bin, you free up valuable storage space on your computer. Windows 7 places files and folders you delete in the recycle bin. If you delete a folder, Windows 7 removes the folder as well as all the files and subfolders. If you delete a folder, Windows 7 removes the folder as well as all the files and subfolders that are stored in it. This is an example of the Delete File dialog box, and it is a fail-safe to protect you from deleting a document by mistake. Notice, though, that it says, do you want to move this file to the recycle bin? Not to, do you want to delete this file? If you later discover you need a deleted file or folder, you can restore it to its original location, but only if you have not yet emptied the recycle bin. Emptying the recycle bin permanently removes the deleted folders and files from your computer. Files and folders you delete from a removable storage device do not go to the recycle bin. They are immediately and permanently deleted and cannot be restored. To restore a file you have placed in the recycle bin, you simply go to the recycle bin, click on the file that you want to restore, and then click Restore. Let's review the information about folders and hierarchy. We have our main folder called Document. In that, there are 3 subfolders and 1 file. The file named tourguidebio.doc is a Microsoft Word document created prior in a version of Microsoft Word prior to 2007. How do I know that? I know that because .doc stands for document, and it is the file extension used to indicate a Word document created in one of the versions of Microsoft Word from 1997 to 2003. With the introduction of Microsoft Word in 2007, the file extension was changed to .docx. This means that if you see a file with the file extension .docx, you know that the file was created in Microsoft Word 2010, Microsoft Word 2007, or Microsoft Word 2013. In the first subfolder named Correspondence is one file named companylogo.gif. The companylogo.gif is a file inside the correspondence subfolder. This is a graphic file. How do I know it's a graphic file? I know it's a graphic file because of the file extension. Remember, a file extension, or simply extension, is a suffix at the end of a file name that indicates what type of file it is and is usually preceded by a period or dot. A .gif file is a graphic file. In the third subfolder, named Tours, you see 3 additional files. Or subfolders. The subfolders are named Tour Brochures, Tour Calendars, and Tour Proposals. Inside each of these folders are files. All of the files are Microsoft Word documents created with Microsoft Word 97 to 2003. Now, I know that this has been a lot of information, and hopefully it hasn't been too confusing for you, and you're now going to start creating folders and files yourself. The more you do this, the more comfortable you will become. These are some of the terms that you've already written down and gotten your vocabulary for, and are very important.